Hi, it's day 17, and after a year long of watching videos about how to do composting, I have finally done it, and I feel so happy about it because for this I had to convince my parents because they were not agreeing for it because it might smell, it will cover a lot of place in the balcony, and I also didn't have the utensil to do the composting in. But finally I did it, and I am actually feeling good about it. I am actually feeling being an environmentalist in progress. I have stepped I have stepped on another step, and this is really good actually. I have spent my entire day today doing gardening and planting seeds and creating the compost. So it is really helpful and it will make you happy. It is really therapeutic. Don't worry about do you have space or not. Don't worry about do you have utensil or not. Will it smell? Will it create a mess in my balcony or not? Just start, because I have also been looking so many videos about how to do composting, and finally I tried it. It's always about taking the first step, as a lot of people say. So just take the first step, and I made it very, very simple. And I am not very good with equipment, so I just tried my best to create a small video which might be a motivational video for people who really want to do composting and who are not very technical like me. And but yeah, so try your hand on it and you will feel good. So I have this matka in my home, and it is here from past 2 years, I guess. I could barely cook in this. I think I have just cooked once in it, and this was there in my kitchen from a long time, and now I've decided to do composting in it. And as you can see, there are holes. So my brother helped me do these holes, drill these holes, total 9 holes in it. And here I have my vegetable peels, fruit peels, and eggshells, and everything that is required in terms of greens in the compost. And it must be around 1 kg or so, and it is a 2 days collection. So basically I was collecting it from 2 days, and I could gather approx 1 kg of the wet waste from my kitchen. The next comes up the browns in the composting that goes in, which are dried leaves, twigs of trees, and you can also add some paper in it, which actually helps. So the browns actually help providing the carbon dioxide into the compost, and the wet waste helps in providing the nitrogen in the compost. I also have soil here to provide a platform to breed for the microorganisms. So I have filled it all. This is how it looks like. It's full to the brim. So the first layer was of dry leaves, of course, and there should be an equal ratio of brown and green. So there was the first layer was of browns, and the other layer was of dry soil, which I fetched from my garden, and the third layer was of greens. Then the fourth layer was of browns again, and the top layer, which you can see here, is the dry soil. And I have added some of the compost from my previous stored compost on the top very most layer, and just sprinkled some water into it. Just a quick tip for those of you who think कि हमारा इतना wet waste नहीं होता. I just have small chunk of wet waste in my kitchen. on a daily basis, and I cannot spend a month for the manure to store it in a whole lot separate utensils. So what you can actually do is take a pot, simple pot which has soil, dig the soil, cut those, if you have small chunks of things, just shred it, like cut it into small bits and put it in that hole, cover it with the soil, and you can also put the dry leaves into it. I'm saying this because I had been telling my father, let's do composting, but he was always thinking about we'll need another utensil for that. So what he did, because it's his garden, so what he did is he has this big soil pot, and he used to collect all the small chunks of vegetable peels, eggshells and everything on a daily basis, or on an alternative day, and he used to cut it, dig the hole, put it inside, cover it with the soil and let it be. So today when I checked out on my garden, in that pot, it was actually a good kind of soil. So that I used in potting whatever I did today, and that I also used small ratio of it in putting into my new compost utensil in that matka. So I hope it is not a really big step to take. Just try, enjoy. And for many of you जिनको लगता है उनका रोज का wet waste ज़्यादा नहीं है, kitchen waste ज़्यादा नहीं है, या फिर they cannot wait for a month to get the compost or manure done, तो आप क्या कर सकते हैं, जो कि मैंने करा है, I add some of my daily small bits of wet waste into it. Like I just got these eggshells, so this is a simple pot with soil in it, and I'll just dig it more. I'll just dig it more and add these eggshell. I'll just crush these eggshells and add in it. You can also add the dry leaves into it. It's totally fine. And then you can cover it with the dry soil again. Just add the soil on top of it, cover it. Guys, I don't have equipments for gardening, so I just use whatever I can get, and that's totally okay, until unless you are very much passionate about gardening and doing composting and playing with the soil.